Hello, this is Keith Hall. Welcome back. Today we're going to be walking through text transformations using Power Query. Now on the left you can see our raw data set, and you can probably see there's a lot of issues with this. We have our office, department, and position within one column. Then we have this employee code, which is a combination of digits and letters, and we have our full employee name. And as you can see, some employees have middle initials, some don't, and they're all mixed case. So what we want to do is we want to transfer these columns, and the end result, which is what you will see over here on the right. We're going to extract that first column into three different columns. We're going to create a unique employee ID, which includes the digits in that original column, along with uh, shortened codes of the office, department, position. And then we're going to extract the employee name to make it proper case and eliminate the middle initial. And then, of course, we're going to create office, codes which are just abbreviations of the office, department, and position. Now, if we did this in Excel, let's take, for example, let's strip out the office location, which in this case, it's the first uh, phrase right prior to the first pipe symbol. So if we were going to do this, we would have to do something like this. We'd have to search for this pipe symbol, okay? And then we would have to select the text where we're going to search for it, okay? Then press enter. Now, what the search function does, it returns the position of this pipe symbol in this text. So it's the 8th position. So now how would we extract Phoenix from here? Well, we would have to incorporate another function using the left function. And we're going to select this text, and then we're going to extract the number of characters, which is what search returns. Now, what you could see here, it also returns the pipe symbol, which we don't want. And it's because search returned the position 8, which is 8 characters, okay, from the left. Okay, so what we would want to do is we want to subtract out 1. And then we get Phoenix. So if I copy this down, I'll just copy it down a few. And as you can see, it extracts the first phrase right prior to the first pipe symbol. Now you could imagine that how will we extract the middle and then the last one? So the formula would have to become more complicated. But there is an easier and faster way to do this, and we could do this within Power Query. So let's go ahead into Power Query, and let's transform this data set here, this raw data set, into what we see over here. So if we go up to data, and then from table arrange, okay, Excel automatically detected the range of data that we have, and it does include headers. We're going to click OK. It'll open up Power Query. And our first step is we're going to split the first column into multiple columns. So we're going to split these phrases, which is office, department, position, in 3 separate columns. And we could do that by we're going to transform this column, which means that we're going to get 3 separate columns, and then this column will get removed, basically. So we're going to go up to the Transform tab. We're going to split the column, and then we're going to do it by delimiter. Now our delimiter, as you can see, is our pipe symbol. So we're going to go over here, and it automatically detected the pipe symbol. That's why it was existing there in the first tape. And then we're going to select each occurrence of the delimiter because, as you can see, it occurs multiple times. So all we're going to do is click OK. Now it's separated each one of those into separate columns. In the end, we're going to rename these columns. So our next step is we want to get the employee ID out of this employee code column. And as you can see, it's embedded. It could be the first part of the phrase. It could be in the middle, as you can see here, or in some cases, the employee ID might be at the end. So how can we do that? Well, we're going to do this by adding a custom column. We're going to select that, go up to Add Column. Over here to the left, Custom Column. Now we're going to rename it. We're going to call Employee ID. And then we're going to add in a formula here. So we're going to type in text dot select. Then we're going to select the employee code field, which is the column name. Okay. Then we're going to close that out with a square bracket, which is already there, comma, and then we're going to pass it a list of characters we basically want to search for. So we're going to use the curly bracket, type in 0, dot, dot, then 9. Then we're going to close that out, okay? And then close this out. That's a formula. So basically what this is doing, it's telling Power Query to select only characters in the employee code column that are digits, okay? And text.select is a built-in Power Query function that filters out characters based on a list. And the characters that we want to filter out are these. And what you see here, 0, dot, dot, that's just a shorthand for all digits from 0 through 9. So we're going to press OK. So what it did there, since we selected Add Column, it's going to add a new column, and it extracted all the digits from this employee code column. Okay, so now our next job here is we want to combine the employee ID with the office location, the department, and the position. But we first want to create codes for that. So what we want to do is select, basically select this column here, employee ID, and then we want to do is add column, and then extract the first 3 characters of this column here. So we want to add column, extract first characters, and we will just basically we want to select the first 3 characters of this column. Click OK. So that's what it did. Now we want to do this for the other 2 columns. Select the column, add column, extract, and then first characters, 3, click OK, and then it selects, it creates a code for us. Now, as you can see, this phrase here, HR, there was only 2 characters. So what Power Query does, it selects up to 3 characters. If it's less, then it selects just that number of characters. Now we want to do this for this column. Add column, extract first 3 characters. Okay. Now we got 3 separate columns here. So once we have that, then we want to create a unique employee ID, which consists of the employee ID, which is the numbers, and then combine it with this. Now, this may not be practical in the real world to have an employee ID with all this, but I just wanted to give you an idea how we could do this here. So what we want to do is we must select all these columns first by using Control Click. Okay, and then we want to add column. Okay, now we want to select merge columns. And our separator, we could do it whatever you want. Let's say you wanted a custom, you want a dash. And then what do we want to call it? We'll just call it merge for right now because we're going to rename it later. Click OK. So as you can see, now it created a unique employee ID that consists of the office, the department, and the position of the employee. So once we got that, now our next job is we want to go back over here and we want to extract the first name and last name from this column. And then after that, we'll do proper case because as you can see, it's all mixed case here. So what we want to do first is we want to add a, so we want to select this, add column, we want to extract, and then we want to text before the number, okay? And basically want to search for a space. So we're searching for the first space added in columns. Click OK. Now if we go over here, as you can see, it extracted the first name. Okay. Okay, so now our next job, we want to get to the last name. Okay, we could do the same thing here. But since we're going to wind up deleting this column anyway, so let's just transform this and let's get the last name from this column here and it'll override it with the last name. So we want to do the transform instead. We want to extract and we want to get the last character, okay? And we want to search for a space. So what this is doing, it's going to the end of this phrase here and looking for a space, the first space that it sees, and it extracts the rest of it. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, just a second. Cancel for a second. Extract text after the number. Put a space. Okay. Second. Go back up here. Extract from the transform term. Text after the we want a space, but this time we want to select advanced options. And instead of going from the start of the input, go from the end of the input. Okay, and then click OK, and then it gets the last name. So now what we want to do is we want to give it a proper case. So we select this column. Let's go back down here, Control click over here. And now we want to transform those two columns that we selected. So we go to transform format, and we want to capitalize each word. So now we got the proper capitalization for the first and the last name. So now what we want to do is we want to rename these columns. So this is the office location. So you double click on the header, type in your proper column name that you have, double click department, and this is the position. And then we want to basically get rid of this employee code. So we right click on here. Okay. And then we also want to remove this column, employee ID, because we no longer need it. Right click, remove columns that we selected. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's rename this to office code. This is the department code. And this is the position code. Now we want to rename this to employee ID. Press enter. And then we want to rename this. This was the actual first name. Okay. So first name. We want to go over here. This is now the actual last name. Now let's reorder these columns. So let's go over here to the last. Let's move this. We click on it and just drag it to the position where you want it to. So we want it right over here. So we got the first name, last name. And now let's get the employee ID over here. Do the same thing. Click and drag it to the position where you want. Let's say you want it before the first name. Okay, now we got everything that we want. Everything's now converted to text, as you can see here, up on the top. If you click on this, this is the actual formatting, the data type. So we know that ABC is a text field. That's what it is. So it did all that without creating the extensive formulas that we would have to use in Excel. So now let's load this back to our sheet. Let's go up to home, close and load to, and let's we're going to create a table. Let's put it on a new worksheet. Click OK. And there you have it. We transformed that raw data into something that we could better utilize for data analyst purposes. Hopefully this tutorial gave you an idea how Power Query can transform your data into the formats that you want. Again, I want to thank you for stopping by. You have a great day. And remember to subscribe to my channel. And as always, like and comment in this video. Thanks again. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.